Welcome back to Never Famous. While fame can be fleeting, we are not. We will be here forever. This shit is popping. It's up from this hit from here. Today we're peeling back the layers on FouseyTube and what's been going on. Please hit the like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate all of y'all support, y'all love. And we're back for another reaction.
Starting with this absolute mess of a situation around Fousey, who, if you don't know, don't worry. I'll give you the background you need to know, which is he's an old school YouTuber that infamously flamed out. There were mental health issues, massive backlash. He kind of went away for a while. So seemingly after being humbled by life, he was kind of back on the come up. He seemed driven but calm. But then he started doing a 24/7 live stream. And as that continued, he started getting more and more viewers. He also found himself in numerous controversies. And there were a range of those. Like there were situations where like he accidentally sang the N-word and he freaked out on himself. As well as a situation where he was talking to this woman that may have been inebriated at an airport who said she had been sex trafficked, and then he came back and said he had sex with her. He then got kicked off of Twitch for a bit, and then he moved over to Kick. And since then, things have just continued to escalate. With a lot of things getting weird and confusing, some people hating him, some people loving him, a lot of people concerned about his mental well-being. Or you got things like earlier this week, he was streaming while walking down a freeway in Miami.
Internet hated me. It's now 2023. I'm 33 years old. I'm about to sign a multi-million-dollar deal, dog. I'm about to retire my entire family.
With him even seeming to interact with a car at one point while walking down the freeway, people noting that that's just insanely dangerous. And yesterday, which was the most chaotic day of the streaming, you saw him slap 2 other creators, throwing water on a creator by the name of Jack Doherty. Jack does the same thing back, and then he just goes for it.
I slapped the dog.
He also got into an altercation with a creator by the name of Neon.
You think you're perfect. You're not. You're far from perfect. You have up ass people.
I think I'm perfect.
You said you were gonna do that.
I think I'm perfect.
And after that, yelling at him, including using a homophobic slur. There's so much chaos.
What do you think?
Yo, this guy, bruh, I remember watching a lot of his vlogs on YouTube and whatnot way back when, and like his mental health was bad, but this is terrible. Like this wow, I didn't know it got worse like that.
COE.
Yo, what's
Content
going on?
over everything.
You can tell, like.
So you that have been watching for a while, do you think this is more content or more mental health? If you're like just solely basing this off of what you've seen in this video.
To be honest, I don't know, because there was a time where he was talking about how he was gonna present Drake and not Drake, J. Cole and stuff like that. I mean, he's met and spoke with J. Cole before, from what I remember in his vlogs, but that he was just hyping that up, and then when it came down to the day of him presenting J. Cole, like in one of his performances, he wasn't, that didn't happen. He was actually just in the crowd recording him, and that's how he presented him. So it was like,
I mean, but that
was a whole clout thing. Like that was a whole, like, people actually thought that he was gonna be on stage presenting J. Cole, right?
Yeah,
but
people have done that shit. That's not that bad.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying though, he, like, it went from being genuine and just cool and whatnot on making vlogs and just to now like, okay, well, this guy's just lying and
I don't even think
like
it's
the
this
stuff
guy.
that
I think this is going into. I haven't watched him in years, but I remember seeing him when he used to do like fitness videos.
Yeah.
Like, and they're like 2012s, 13s, or something like that. But what I think is happening is how this engaged from real life people are becoming once you get into the social media world. And what I mean by that is if you can see even like just going and slapping someone, like you start to disassociate what a human is in front of you. You start thinking you're still like living this life that I have to be always at a specific beat. Like I have to be at this level. I have to be on high all the time in order to keep an engagement. And it drives people to do dumb shit and not think through their decisions. And it just drives them to literally probably have mental breakdowns is one. But it kind of shows also people are watching this live and probably encouraging it and pushing it. So people continue to do it more and more because like, oh, this is what people want to see. This is what people want to see. And I think people are not living real life anymore. Like
it's all a show.
It's either your real life is so terrible, like you're either bored with it or you don't think you're doing enough, that you are seeking engagement or entertainment by seeing somebody else destroy theirs. Kind of a thing.
But I feel like it could be, I mean, I don't know if he's on any medication, but from what I remember when I used to watch his vlogs and whatnot, he was on medication, which actually caused him to be bald, from what he said back then. So that could also take into effect of his behavior. But this is bad. Like I've never seen him this bad. And it's funny because not too long ago, I was actually wondering, like, I wonder what he's up to, like where his career went, and clearly is not, it didn't go in a good direction from what I'm seeing. That's crazy. It don't even when I'm looking at this, it doesn't really look like a sane person, like a person that's all the way there. But it's like he said, it could be just for camera.
Yeah.
I don't know if if it is or not, but I just think it's like content, and I think that there's something in that. And what you said about that, I think people have been losing their like that shit that what he's saying, where you kind of where you kind of have to like live in that personality or whatever. I think that's always existed for celebrities. They just handled it differently, and like before there were less celebrities than what there are now.
Well, and I don't think you were alive now. What I mean by that is, if I think even prior, not even the internet, prior to social media being what it became in the last 5 to 10 years, if you are a celebrity, people will see you on a show, on a movie, whatever, at a concert. But after you were off stage, and you can go and have a bit of a private life. You know what I mean? But now through mobile devices and computers and whatever the case might be in social media, people feel like they have a window to your life 24/7. And now you have individuals who their call to fame is giving people access to their life 24/7, which is somebody who's willing to stream 24/7. What can you be doing 24/7 that is this entertaining to keep people watching? And you know you need to keep people engaged for them to be watching.
That's why it's the first thing I said. Red flag number one before this shit started. Before you said anything. Red flag number one is the 24/7 stream.
That shit would drive anybody
Like,
insane.
that shit is like it's hard. It's hard to come up with entertaining content, and that's where you start to, like you said, disassociating yourself from like reality, kind of in a sense, because if you're getting cheered on in the comments by 5, 10, 20,000 people, and you smacking these little motherfuckers, like you think like, oh, all right, like it's cool to do this shit because I'm getting cheered on. It's co-signer, but when he gonna smack the right motherfucker where he gonna lose enough money or enough, like he gonna get his ass whooped bad enough where he gonna be like, damn, like all right.
Notice how those two that he slapped, they were smaller than him. They wasn't even his size, nowhere near his size. Like,
They didn't look the most physically
no, not at all.
imposing.
He's definitely, like, from when I remember watching him back then, he's definitely one that, like, has his fake persona when the camera's on, and then off camera is like a whole different story. Like,
I think you should, like, I think everybody should though, and like that's something that I've been learning, like as I've been doing this shit. Like there's certain shit where you gotta I got a hair in my eye. You gotta like turn it on. Like there's a like once you can like figure it out, like you have to bring a certain level of energy, a certain level of character, personality, or whatever. That's a little different from who you are day to day on camera. It's it's different because when we hanging out just on some because we boys. So when we hanging out, I'm not trying to entertain you. Like it's different. When I'm sitting in front, like on this mic and on this camera, I'm trying to entertain the person that's there. As a part, like also having a real conversation. Also, like you know what I'm saying. It's different things that you think about.
But I think that's what's missing, is that for many of these people that are doing these type of content where they're on all the time, the people they're around are probably also live streamers. So you are all thinking this is an opportunity to make content all the time. So they're trying to be like, I need to keep people entertained all the time. So they're probably either hyping each other up or doing dumb shit and pushing each other to do more and more and more crazy shit, to the point that you have like no boundaries, or you don't like respect them in any way, and they can potentially lead for you doing crazy shit.
that's so toxic, bro. I wouldn't want to be in an environment where that's the narrative.
I don't think they even realize they're in it.
Chaos, everything super messy, but the kind of biggest moments came from when Fousey was streaming in his hotel room in Miami. And this is also one of those situations where there's a lot going on, so it's hard to tell exactly what's pushing things to a boiling point. But we know that a streamer named Ganvo called Fousey, seemingly with the intent of further riling and winding him up, at one point telling people,
He's irritating as keeps popping up on my TikTok and all this and I think that the guy is obnoxious.
and so when he called Fousey, he said that he had been in touch with his family.
Yo, I'm Gamble. I'm the guy that was calling your mom and sister and brother and I think one of your friends got me banned on Kick.
Can you hear me, buddy?
You know we have your address, we have your number, we have everything.
Oh, you like doxing too? Hey, I know where you are right now, and I live here, buddy.
Come over here, I swear to God I'll kill you. I swear to God, you pull up to my house right now, I'll stick a knife 10 feet in your throat. I literally slice it down to your penis and chop it off. Yes, this is a goddamn threat. I'll kill you if you come up to me.
Ganvo seemingly
So you see what I'm saying?
That's
Like they are both just like pushing each other to like craziness.
No, they're not pushing each other to craziness. Solely based off of that one clip. Solely based off of that. One motherfucker is instigating some shit to get hot. The other one is responding the same way that all three of us would if somebody was telling me, yo, I'm talking to your mom and your brothers and your sisters and your siblings and fuck them and all this other shit. I know y'all motherfuckers. Y'all will respond the same way he just did. And,
are you gonna? But like, especially, so you're gonna respond the same way, knowing that you're on camera, and you know you're on camera because you're the one broadcasting it. Number two, you've been popping long enough, so like you've been famous long enough from the social media shit to understand that you probably have trolls. Did he actually call his mom to validate it, or do you just respond and taking somebody's word for it immediately?
Will Smith been famous longer than them, got more money than both of them, everything, and he smacked the shit out of Chris Rock.
Yeah, but that was different. Will Smith didn't smack it because of people outside of his realm. He did it because his wife made him do it.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the difference of one person as opposed to a bunch of people, though. But it's still influenced by people, right?
But I'm saying there's a social media aspect of it. That's kind of like what I'm hitting real quick. It's like that the part of social media and the role that it played to like you stop thinking logically.
Yeah, it's crazy. But this is such a.
I'm trying to cut you off. Why I use Will is because of celebrity. Not because I was gonna get on the bike, but I was like, wait, let's go to his face. I can't do that. I only use Will because of celebrity.
I get it. But like Will Smith, when he did that shit, what else had happened? Like within like a few months of him doing that,
he lost like a role or something.
Not only lost his role, his wife had that entanglement with your son's friend
that didn't happen
in your house.
That shit was happening before.
And
that.
now he's gay now.
I understand. I know that shit, but that came to the public light, and he reacted more likely because the public now was aware that this is happening, and it's not something you can take care of in private. What I'm saying is, once you have the public become part of something, and more people are involved, now you feel like you have to put on a show based on what you think other people are expecting you to do.
I've seen a lot of people think with that mindset.
Like a lot of people do that. Like I know people that they may drink, and like if we're at home or something and we're drinking, they're like the nicest people ever. They're at a bar, they're the toughest motherfucker ever. And they want to fight everyone just because they have a few guys around them. They like, because they know if you get in a fight, it's like, oh, everybody's fighting kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I hate a motherfucker like that.
I really do. Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie, you right, because I appreciate a motherfucker that's an asshole all the time. Like if you a drunk asshole all the time, I'm like, all right, that's you. You just a drunk asshole. Like I just don't want you to drink around me. Because I still love you, you're still my friend. But like if you only get beer muscles at the bar, it's like, bro, come on, dog. You just fucking a vibe up,
just
man.
stop.
Yeah.
He then calls Fousey again later, calling him a bunch of names, making fun of threats that were being thrown out, implying that he had sent a woman that Fousey is seeing as some kind of setup.
I've already started breaking your heart. We've only been at war for 2 days.
Then telling Fousey to pull up to his house and adding,
watch, Florida, this is stand your ground, buddy. You threatened to kill me. I have it recorded. Watch what happens when you come here.
And these conversations set Fousey off, and he ends up calling 911. We also see another person in the room with him, but as they're trying to give details to the dispatcher, Fousey says,
"You don't know the address? No. Get out of my room. Get out of my room. Get out of my room. Give me the address and get out of my room. I'm not I don't feel safe around you.
It's right here. Calm down, bro.
Ma'am, my life is in danger.
Intercontinental Miami.
Where are you, sir?
I'm in the Intercontinental.
Give me the phone, man. Give me the phone. You gotta calm down.
Because a guy told me I'm gonna die tonight. You want me to relax?
right? And Fousey just continually gets more and more frustrated throughout the call to 911, with them seeming to think they don't understand what's happening.
There is a deranged fan
Can you pause this real quick?
who has been.
I just want to be very clear that everything that I've said before this was in a joking manner. I support men's mental health with all, like, he's laughing, but I'm serious. I support men's mental health because my man's here is having a motherfucking breakdown.
He definitely is.
Bro, this shit is bad, bro.
I just want to say I'm laughing because of how
You're
he's
an
going
asshole?
back on what he said. He's giving a disclaimer now. Oh man, but I knew
calling my
this
mom
man
and
showed
harassing her,
him.
telling her she's gonna die. Who just called my hotel room, said he's in Miami, said I'm gonna die tonight. He threatened me. He gave me his address. He told me to pull up. He said he hired a girl to come into my life, and she did yesterday, and then to break up with me because he said, we're already with you, already breaking your heart. I'm being attacked right now. My life is in danger. I'm worth $77 million.
And as the dispatcher asks him questions, he answers some, but sometimes he just talks about his internet fame or other aspects of the story. But as they keep asking for more details to get the story straight about where this stalker, presumably Ganville, is, how he's making these threats, stuff like that, Fousey just gets annoyed and concerned that they're not taking this seriously and won't send the cops. So he then just essentially fakes a hostage situation on the phone.
There's a gun to my head right now. There's a gun to my head. Help, ma'am, he left. Ma'am, he left. There's a gun to my head. Help, get them. Help, bye.
But also, for his part,
That didn't even make sense.
He's
come, but he left.
But you understand what he kind of... So that sucks because he's like legit having a mental breakdown. Like that is what he's doing. But it kind of also shows how somebody can, in a way, weaponize like the services we have. Like he just lied to the person, the 911 person, telling them somebody put a gun to my head, send help. So it's kind of like one of those things that's kind of like, and if you're the person being on the phone, like I don't have a way of seeing, I need to send someone out there. What I'm saying is that this could have led to something way crazier. Because if you're saying somebody has a gun to my head and the cops show up pointing guns, you know what I mean? And they do some crazy shit.
Right.
Then that could put not only him in danger, whoever else might have been in the room in danger, but now you're putting cops to be in a position where they may need to do something that they didn't expect to do, or they make a mistake or do something dumb and
shoot somebody that they weren't supposed to shoot. This guy is...
Like, there's, like, stuff like that where, like, I get it, he's having a mental breakdown, but there's also kind of important to point out that don't let social media get in your head to the point that you don't measure consequences.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that shit, with that part. The only thing is, like, sometimes, you kind of gotta lie a little bit when you call the cops. You gotta add some sauce to it. And why I say that is because I got like, so I used to own a business, and I got into like a brawl, like a fucking brawl one time. Like it was a whole lot of people fighting. And I tried to call the cops because it's in my business, and they didn't like, they took mad long to pull up and shit. This might be some big city shit, but they took really long to pull up or whatever. And so then, and I knew the cop that pulled up because he would go to my store frequently. So when I asked him like, oh, what happened? Why this shit take so long or whatever? He was like, oh, like it's a priority rating kind of thing. So it's like what I was calling in wasn't rated high enough. Yeah. Even though to me, my shit felt like it was urgent.
Right. Especially because he was in a situation.
So sometimes you gotta like add some sauce to it.
Spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, but so that shit takes away from but then shit like this takes away from when something like is actually going on when he on bullshit.
For big facts. But it also goes back to what Ruth said that a while ago, where cops nowadays, they take their time to get to the place just so that all they have to do is the report.
Yeah, I just think there should be different divisions. It shouldn't all maybe all be the same branch of because everything shouldn't. I don't think everything should be handled the same. Yeah, but how the same thing y'all just said. I'm sorry to cut you off. The same thing y'all just said is that you kind of got to know what you're arriving for what somebody should have went to help him, but it should have been a mental health expert, a person.
I think the cops should have came on this situation because the thing is, remember the way he's making it sound. You're the person on the phone. You're the 911 operator. You don't know that he's having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, that's true.
They can make the assumption that he's having a mental breakdown, but what if it's true? That other guy that was in the room with him was actually holding him at gunpoint. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have no way of knowing that for real.
Yeah, that's a good
Ganville also called 911 to report Fousey. While the call is harder to hear because Fousey's stream is playing in the back, he tells the operator that there's someone threatening him.
He is live currently, and he is in a hotel room. I have the address of where he is doing this and threatening me with weapons and his security. So he's at the Intercontinental Hotel in Miami. I know that the security was holding pistols.
With all of that, bringing us to the part that has gone the most viral, has made the most headline. The cops actually show up to Fousey's hotel room, and Fousey is pretty combative with them.
He's a stalker.
Okay, and who is this guy?
I don't know.
So how do you want us to look for him if you don't know where he is?
I have his address.
What is his address?
I said grab my security 20 minutes ago.
With the cops eventually approaching him and cuffing him with Fousey saying,
y'all are I'm suing all y'all. My life is in danger and you arrest a Palestinian Muslim who's viral Are y'all dumb or are you stupid?
Hey, free Fousey! Hashtag free Fousey!
Though reportedly, he was not arrested, with TMZ reporting that.
Palestinian Muslim, first of all.
Because we picked up on the same
Come
shit.
on now.
Because this shit
Come
go back
on.
to that shit that we was talking about from a while ago. That shit where people use like certain things to weaponize it and help them or whatever,
victim.
and victimize them and help them in whatever situation they see, like they think in their head is gonna help them.
Yeah.
Where it's like, bro, you saying that has nothing to do with this situation at all. This has nothing to do with you, with nationality
At
or
all.
religion you are. Has nothing to do with
I mean,
this.
if you want to take it to the religion aspect, I mean, he got tattoos. I don't know if he still smokes weed, but he has admitted that he smokes weed. Like, yo, he's not okay in the head, bro. He really needs some help because this is bad. Like I said, before, back in the day, I would see him and I'm like, yeah, he's definitely going through some stuff. But this right here, that has evolved.
Like, this is a full-blown breakdown. Don't get me wrong. This is a full-blown breakdown.
But it doesn't seem like it's just a breakdown. I think it's more so like this is what he lives in now. Like, because it's not just you have a moment, you have a breakdown, and it's that moment, right? Like you just have that one breakdown.
No,
but this is, it seems like this is what's in his
that's his mental
characteristics.
health. It's what's happening in his head right now.
Yeah,
like, it's leading
yeah.
him to think in this way. But it kind of, and so I don't want to like put too much on him because he's going through some mental shit. So maybe he can even technically control it.
Right.
But the one part that I want to point out is like what you mentioned about like he specifically knew if I say my race, color, or something, that can lead the cops to act differently, or I can use this as leverage in some way. And I think we've gotten to the point in society that we have forced that to be the case. You get what I mean? Like he knew it was like, oh, I got to say these key words because people are going to say something. And then you have people, he started trending going free Fousey and started posting it and doing the hashtag because you have hundreds of thousands of people watching as he's doing this live. Like he was live the entire time this was happening.
Well, how many people was in that live?
I don't even know how many, but he has a bunch. It's always thousands and thousands.
That was just so corny.
And he
That
said
was
like,
so
I'm
corny.
suing you in the same statement. So it's like it's all obviously together, but
And he made himself look worse with all that craziness that he was saying.
That Fousey was instead brought to a hospital for a mental health check. Also, while all of this was happening with people using that hashtag free Fousey, the platform Kick itself even using the hashtag at one point, but that post has since been deleted. And so ultimately right now we're waiting to see what happens. But in the meantime, a lot of people are throwing a lot of blame around. Right? Some seemingly putting all this on Ganville, saying that he's trying to exploit someone who's going through a mental health crisis. Meanwhile, you have others saying Fousey's just out of control. This is all on him. That he's been here before. He should know better. He's pushing himself too far. He seems to be disregarding or pushing away anyone that says that he needs to calm down. But the unfortunate thing in this situation is I don't know if there is a way that this calms down, right? Because as things have increasingly gotten more violent and more dangerous,
there's a way to calm shit down. Like if you don't calm it down, there's three ways. It's like you can calm it down. It's like the people around you gonna calm it down, or God gonna calm it down. And it's one of the like you don't know. And God calming it down is you never know.
God
He
gonna
might
calm it
put you
down.
in jail. He might put you.
But the only thing
Asylum.
that I will be afraid of is that you can hurt someone else in the process. Because I don't think it was all him. So Fousey played a part. I think the other guy played a part.
Oh, for sure.
But I also say everybody who's freaking watching and encouraging this in the live stream
They're all playing a part.
is also playing a part. And like nobody's kind of like, I don't want to say pointing the finger, but like we disassociate that this is a real human being that we're seeing through our screen and not a movie or some shit. For them, this is, for people watching in the stream, this is entertainment. So they don't care too much about it. They're just going with the flow and they're letting it be, and they're kind of probably incentivizing it and pushing it. So they're just as complicit into pushing him to the craziness that he did.
Right. But I don't mean to cut you
No,
off.
go ahead.
But at the same time, though, we have to hold him accountable. This is
I'd
something
say he plays a role. I didn't say he did it.
Hold who accountable?
Fousey, because this was his decision to do this 24/7.
Yeah.
Right. And knowing that he has a mental health issue, why would you play with fire like that? Like why would you? Like I said, this has been ongoing for years, and he's taking a break from content creation, knowing that plays a big part in his mental health. So why would you go ahead and do 24/7 live streams for, like, knowing how this affects you to the extent that it does?
I don't think he knew that this will affect him in the way that it did.
You don't think he?
Because I think from his mindset, if once you're stable enough, he probably believe like, oh, I can go back to doing what I know what to do, and what he knows how to do is
turn up,
create content.
I feel like it's a money thing. Like I just need more bread.
You're gonna turn up, get that bag.
But that's what I mean. Like if what you know what to do to make money is create content, and you're pretty good because you can catch eyes and attention, that's what he's gonna go into doing.
What if he knows like he knows that he can get this, he gets this bad, and he does this on purpose just because
maybe
he knows how he gets.
I mean, but that doesn't like necessarily translate to any like.
It's like, what do you like? This like
number.
like monetizing your mental health, breakdown.
But how can you really monetize that? That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way for you to be like, all right, like if I get a certain amount of views or something like that, like that's not one of those things where one definitely correlates to the other.
Yeah,
I don't think, you know what I mean. Like,
this is just crazy though.
My whole thing is like to the people, like how you saying to the people that are in the chats and all that shit. Like, there's not really like, or like in the thing, there's no way for you to hold them accountable for real.
It's a bunch of people.
They're like, yeah, there's, and it's not even about the amount of people, but there's just no real accountability.
No,
system.
like you have to call them out. Like the only way you can hold them accountable is calling them out. And what I mean by that is,
but calling them out as who?
Anybody, even us right now, like saying like, yo, like if you're ever in a live and you see this is happening, and you're encouraging it, you're playing a part into seeing a human breaking down. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think as a society, we're not doing enough of that to the point that we're desensitized to what we're seeing through a screen, and we forget the human element.
Because we,
of course,
we co-sign the troll, like the people that troll and shit. We co-sign that shit. We love that shit because I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers funny as hell in the comments. Yo, they this, they that.
Not only that, but like we definitely are desensitized because when somebody can die in the street and you see a bunch of people with phones and their cameras just recording this shit instead of calling 911 or the ambulance.
It's regular. That's what makes it desensitized. It's a regular occurrence. We see this shit. We seen PNB Rock fucking face down like in a puddle of blood,
but
and
it's
that
not
shit
regular.
is a regular occurrence.
But it's not regular. It's regular because we're seeing it on a screen all the time.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
But it doesn't happen around you in person.
No,
all of the time. It's very rare. Like if you really count the times.
But you're seeing it every single day. So it's
brain,
regular.
In our minds, we think that it's happening more than it is. But that's what I'm saying. Like if we don't speak and be like, no, like it's not normal to see somebody having a mental breakdown and encourage it. That shit is not normal.
And encourage it is the extra part, because the normal part is seeing people have like you see.
That's not normal. That's
have
not
a mental
normal.
breakdown.
Having mental breakdowns, it's not like 9 out of 10 people will have a mental breakdown any day of the week at any point in time. What I'm saying is, for most humans, unless you work in a mental institution of some sort, you don't see a mental breakdown every single day for it to be considered normal. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. That's not normal. Like, so when you're seeing it, don't encourage it. Like, maybe learn how to recognize and be like, yo, how can we get help? Or can we diffuse it in some way? That's the type of stuff I think we should be sharing more of.
So
yeah, but that's not going to happen because, again, in today's world, stuff like death happens. And again, somebody will be very quick to just pull out the camera instead of calling for help.
Well, that's what I mean. It's going to continue to happen unless we call it out and we get more messages of telling people, yo, that's not cool.
Yeah, but you can call it out and so on. But at the end of the day, nobody's really going to do that because the person that's, for example, let's take the scenario that I'm talking about of a camera of somebody's death. That person will get famous off of that.
Who?
The person recording, like, yo, look, this is crazy. This guy just died.
No, they're not. They're gonna get 2 minutes of fame. That's it.
But that's the point. That's
enough. So that's what I'm gonna say. Like, my question is, what's the benefit? Like, there's no benefit to them stopping doing this. That's why, because then they get that because
there's no shame.
Those 15 minutes of fame, and
I get it. That's what I mean. Because there's no shame for it, and there's no shame because people don't talk bad about it. I feel like if enough people start shaming in a way, and for lack of a better definition,
of course,
then that will become normal for people, and we have to start normalizing that.
But what would benefit people to do that? Because the only way that the only thing that makes people really get on the other side of that, if they started on one side of the street of like, yo, I'm in people comments and being an asshole and all this other shit, the only thing that really makes them change is like if they affect somebody negatively enough to where it affects them or it happens to them.
Or if that's
one
like
of those two things, like if it doesn't happen to them, then they just kind of stay the same way.
Or if that's like the next cool thing to do. Like,
that's what I mean. How do you make it a cool thing?
that's my question. There's no like I don't
Yes, there
see
is.
a way to make that a cool thing.
You first start talking about it.
Usually the
But
right
that's
thing.
not gonna make it a cool thing. That's gonna make it a conversation. But it's not a beneficial thing because what he's saying is like, so we might not be fulfilled with 15 minutes of fame of posting that shit. Like that might hurt our hearts and be like, damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But for other people, that's enough. That fills them a lot. Like, oh shit, I gained 5,000 followers or 2,000 followers in one day.
I got this many views.
Exactly.
Wow. Because that's like the new currency. I think we spoke about that before. That's the new currency. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. People think, I don't know, things are different in today's age.
I don't know. I feel like if we go with that mindset, then we're saying we're lost and there's no way to save it.
But we are lost, though.
But I'm not
We
saying.
are, but
I don't think there's no way to save it. Like that's
Yeah.
because then if that's the case, then like why even try it? Like why even have conversations? Why even speak about it? I think that's the difference. That's what I'm saying. By talking and having a voice and giving people different perspectives, that's how you're going to touch some people. And maybe even this conversation we're having, maybe there's this one kid that's a 16-year-old that watches it and it resonates with them. Yeah. And next time they're the ones that are calling 911.
Right. But if you think about it though, I've witnessed that the cool thing is never the right thing. Like that's never really. Nobody really thinks that the right thing is cool. If you notice, the wrong thing is always something that what's the word I want to use?
It's normally the cool shit.
It's normally the cool shit. Yeah.
In what context though?
Well, think about it. Okay, we can
more than average.
Yeah, more than average. First of all,
no. I'm asking for what context. I'm not saying that it's an average. I'm like because I think we sometimes get.
I can give you the easiest example. I can give you the easiest example when. We'll take rap, for example, talking about hoes, drugs, killing, things like that, illegal activities. That's praised, right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But that's not cool. That's not right?
I think that you might, I think like, just because I'm like a music fan and I'm like really paying attention to what's going on, yes, traditionally you're right, but today is August 20-something of 2023. I think you're giving him a little bit of like gas to his argument just because it's like even now even the labels are moving away from hip hop music. Hey, like there hasn't been a #1 Billboard song or like, a rap Billboard song that's been #1 or whatever, like #1 on Billboard all year. Like we just got of the first rap album to go #1 with Lil Uzi's album, and that wasn't really like a rap album.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I get what you're saying. Traditionally, it is the way that it's gone, but I think it's pushing away from that. It's going more towards Afro beats, African music, and Latin music.
Right. But that's
they're pushing away from these negative things.
Yeah, but that's happening now. I'm saying what has.
So you saying that? So in you saying that made me think about that. He might be right just because if we start the conversation today, it might not change today, but if us starting the conversation today, it like puts a little bit of grain into the shit for 5 years from now, it's like,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? They'll be moving along the right process.
Yeah, the right direction.
Yeah, the right direction.
Oh yeah.
So that might be the solution. Is shaming motherfucker. Because shame do work. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga that shame me and to get into the gym. Shame does work. I'm gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? That shit do. You might. You know what I'm saying, you can shame you into like doing some shit, losing some weight, doing whatever. You know.
That is true.
Shame does work.
Definitely does. Especially if you're in that level of like the stardom, where if you're a celebrity and it's easier for them to fall into that because they have this status to keep.
Sort of, but I think it kind of comes to the point right now that in a very unique way we can start holding celebrities accountable in a way.
For sure.
And I don't mean it in a way of like, oh, he has to go to jail or something, but like kind of let them know, hey, like there's some shit you're doing that's morally wrong, and that in the past most celebrities got a pass because they were celebrities.
Yeah, but I think they are held accountable though because of this thing that exists called cancel culture.
Well, not really, not all, because because what it means is like depending on how you view it, cancel culture based on somebody's way of thinking. Yeah, they were trying to be canceled, but that doesn't mean they were doing something morally wrong. They might have just had a different opinion than you. But I think there's some stuff that as a society we may want to say, like promoting degeneracy in some weird way. It's not something that we want to be promoting. So we need to start calling that shit out and be like, yo, that's not cool. And the more people that do it, it will incentivize people to say, if it's not cool, I don't want to talk about that because it ain't cool no more.
Right.
But we not. But that's cool. But we not the moral police neither. Like who are we to be like? Not we as in us, but like as in just the fans or the thing, whatever. Like because when you're saying celebrities, who are we to be like? Yo, you got like we are the moral police.
You are if you consume it or don't consume it.
But we all do things that are like immoral to some sense, to somebody or to some sense.
No, I understand that. That's what I mean. Like
so just because you're a celebrity.
No. I mean, because there are some celebrities that are doing shit that is wild. And there are some celebrities that are just celebrities, right? But there's some things that I'm like, yo, you're kind of crossing the line. You know what I mean? Like if I was, and this isn't.
But I don't think that's a human thing. I don't think that's a celebrity thing. I think that's a human thing.
I understand that. But I'm saying but sometimes because somebody's a celebrity, it's easy for society to give them a pass just because of the amount of clout they have. It's easy for you to.
They hold them to a higher standard.
Yeah.
No, you don't even.
No, they can just get away with.
You give them passes.
Yeah.
Like right now, like you will see somebody doing something very, very dumb, but you'll be like, oh, he has 1 million followers, so if I can get him to post me, I'm gonna overlook it.
Oh, he got money, he can get away with it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes we make up excuses for something that's foul just because somebody is famous or has access to money or something.
That's that person.
Yeah.
He got it like that, so he can do stuff like that. Like that is true. That is true.
I don't like that.
Why don't you like
that?
What's that?
That like the ending to that, like so to your statement. I don't know because I don't like it.
But it's true though. There's people that because of they have a certain status, they have a pass for certain things. It's not right. I don't agree with it, but I honestly I think it's stupid. But you know that's just really how the world operates when it comes to that.
Can you give me an example?
Oof.
Because I understand I understand what y'all are saying, and I can give you an example, but I just want to understand what like y'all are talking about.
I can give you a perfect example. Yes. When this guy, what's his name? Fuck.
Tell me what he did first. Then.
Lil Nas X. Yeah. When he made the shoes with blood in it.
Oh. Yeah.
What did people do? It's like, yo, that's foul. Like that.
They canceled him for that shit.
But what did people do? It was like, yeah, like that we're not touching. Like this is something we're not cool with. We don't want to go with. Even though weeks prior, like he had like messages with the devil, kind of like dressed as such in the video and such.
But that's always been in music.
I understand that, but I mean, like there was that aspect of the shoe having human blood in it was something that people were like, yo, this is taking it too far.
That was passing line.
But what happened? People kind of said, no, that ain't cool.
No, time out. I think what played a big influence in that was Nike trying to sue him for that. Because there was people that bought.
Yeah, but why did Nike wanted to do it? It all happened because people started talking about it.
Well, Nike didn't. Well, Nike was trying to sue because he never got permission to do that.
I understand that, but Nike, if people hadn't complained, Nike would have never sued.
True. Well, did they really complain?
Yeah, people that free talk shit. There was like, yo, like,
you sure that didn't come after the fact?
No. As soon as the people figure out, I was like, there was human blood in it, it automatically became a thing. But that's one example of like what I'm saying. Like there's some moral things that we're like, I don't think that's the line we want to cross. And I think as either a fan or somebody who's consumed someone's product, content, or something, you can say, I'm not going to consume it if this is the route you're going. And that's okay for you to say it. Go. Like and subscribe.
And comment. Let us know what y'all think about this conversation. Add it to the conversation. Like we want to interact with y'all. Like let us. Matter of fact, I think it was a couple comments. Read the comment. We appreciate y'all support. You know what I'm saying? Showing us love. Let me read that. While we pull up the.